trade between the two nations, not just restricted to arms and weaponry, is two-way. And should there be a decision like this on the part of the UK, it's quite possible that it could sour relations between the two countries more generally, both in terms of trade and, quite importantly, in terms of intelligence sharing. Let's not forget that Israel has actually alerted Britain to terror attacks before they've happened within the UK, actively saving British lives. And so there could be some resentment from the part of Israel should Britain decide to remove its so far steadfast support in relation to the terror threat coming from Gaza that in fact manifested in the 7th of October attacks. And so if those weapons are needed, Israel is relying on Britain and other allies who supply them to continue doing so, whether they are among the bigger or not so big suppliers of those weapons. So far, the Prime Minister hasn't taken the step of removing the arms exports to Israel, and that's because the government has always said that it would do so if its legal advice was that Israel is breaking international law. So far, they've not published the legal advice that they have received, and there are leaks and rumors that that advice has now switched over to saying that Israel is in contravention or potentially in contravention of international law. Of course, legal advice is just that, it's advice. So while lawyers and experts do give their considered opinions, you can often find differences of those opinions between top lawyers. And so the government is probably struggling with making this decision if it is indeed receiving some advice that there could be contraventions of international law on the part of Israel's actions. So far, though, we haven't heard that the UK is going to end that arms trade.